So Paul, I would like to show you this document here, which is the estate's rental records. And we can see this is Donald here.
Don Mackenzie, post.
What do you think post means?
He's a postman.
Well, not just a postman, but he was actually a post runner. And what the job of the post runner was to deliver the post both by walking and by running.
Right. So, poor bloke. So he had to. How far? I mean, what area are we looking at here?
Well, Donald ran the post between Pullew and a place called Dingwall, and I can show you on the map here. So here we have Pullew.
Yeah.
And here we have Dingwall.
You've got to be kidding.
No, so you can see that that's a
You ran a
distance
marathon every day.
of 60 miles between the west coast of Pullew and the east coast of Dingwall. He crosses the good part of the country there. And
He nearly goes to Inverness to deliver post.
to deliver post every week. And he would cover that distance in a course of about 3 days.
Wow. That's incredible. Every week.
Every week and back.
And back.
So it's 120 miles every week. And we know at the time that Donald was doing this, he was in his 40s.
In his 40s.
In his 40s by this time. So you can imagine.
He's a bit like me, to be honest. You know,
it's a bit
fit.
like you
Absolutely.
every week, 120 miles just down there.
I live down in Kent. I often think, do you know what? I'm going to go for a bit of a run to London. Do you know how long he did that for?
Well, he certainly did that for at least a decade, probably longer. So we're talking an incredibly fit man here. And the reason I brought you to this particular spot is because the other side of the loch here, this was the route that Donald took to deliver the posts. So you can see how rocky, precipitous these cliff faces are.
So did he run along the coast, or did he hit the top and run across the peaks?
He'll be running along the coast. But there's a formation known as Bull's Rock here, and at times he'd be scrambling, if not climbing himself.
Donald's job was vital. Running the post to and from isolated communities was the only way to stay in touch. The first mail coaches had been introduced around 20 years earlier, in 1784, but horses needed feeding and stabling, making them too expensive for the remote Gairloch route. So the post was delivered on foot, with Donald one of the first ever post runners.
The really important thing about this post route at this time was that he was carrying all the mails for not just the Gairloch area, not just Pullew, but for Lewis, the island of Lewis as well. So this is a guy with the mails for 30,000 people on his back every week.
He was some sort of superhero. I mean, to do that, I mean, I'd like to see someone do it now. I mean, I would say me, you know, if I'm honest, but I'm pushing 50 now and I don't think I'm really up for it. But to carry that sort of weight and to do that run every week for over a decade in his 40s is frankly staggering.
Well, we do actually have a good description of Donald's post-run here in this book. This is a book that was written in the 1880s, and it remembers life in Pullew and in Gairloch.
Our only letter carrier was one of my father's, Sir Hector's, attachés, little Duncan.
The writer misremembers that he says Duncan when he actually does mean Donald.
A bit of kilted Indian rubber.
Yeah, it's a contemporary expression meaning kind of tough or bendy. So I think it's a really good kind of evocative description of Donald's kind of quite sprightly.
Who, with a sheepskin knapsack on his back to keep his dispatches dry, for Macintosh waterproof had not been dreamed of then. Wow. Left the West on Monday, got the 60 miles done on Wednesday, and returning on Thursday, delivered up his mail to my father on the Saturday, was ready to trip off east next Monday. Doing his 120 miles every week, I never heard of his being a day off work in many a year. It doesn't stop, does it? He's just going bang, 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 bang.
Sunday, the day of rest, would be the only day that Donald wouldn't be working.
He must have been fit as a flea.
Yep.
Dear me.
And one thing that we do know about Donald was that he did live to an incredibly long age as well. We pick him up in the 1841 census and he's into his 80s by that point. So he's incredibly long-lived.
So his genetic structure is such that he's so fit.
Yeah.
He lives to his 80s in that sort of period as well.
Exactly. So the omens are good for you.
Yeah, it's in the DNA. I'm gonna go and have a whiskey. I was really looking forward to coming to Pullew, not only to see my great-great-great-great-grandfather's croft, where he lived, where the family lived, and the views that he saw, but to find out also that he was a postman, but he used to run the post from over there about 3 miles, all the way across, tracking around the loch, all the way to the other side of Scotland. What a bloke! This was his backdrop for most of his life. Amazing.